Pepperidge Farm's Goldfish crackers aren't just the second best-selling cracker in the US. They're also a beloved cheesy snack around the world. Their popularity is so massive that they bring in over $2 billion a year, making up nearly half of the brand's total sales. That translates to more than 220 billion little fish-shaped crackers produced annually. And every single one comes with that signature smile that's become an icon. But how did these fish-shaped crackers come to life in the first place? Let's step inside the factory to see the process behind those crunchy little smiles. Goldfish actually got their start in Switzerland, created by a baker named Oscar J. Cambly. He wanted to make a special gift for his wife. Since she was a Pisces, he came up with a tiny cracker shaped like a fish. By late 1959 or early 1960, Margaret Rudkin, the founder of Pepperidge Farm, visited Switzerland and was instantly captivated by these unique little fish-shaped snacks. She quickly decided to bring Goldfish to the United States. At first, Goldfish were marketed as a snack for adults, but Rudkin saw a bigger opportunity to turn them into a childhood staple, something kids would remember fondly for generations. To make that vision real, the brand introduced a mascot, Finn the Goldfish. With his cool sunglasses and playful personality, Finn was designed to be fun, lively, and totally on trend, making him irresistible to children. From there, Goldfish quickly became a familiar snack in most American households. They even found their way onto the Thanksgiving table of legendary chef Julia Child, who considered them one of her favorite holiday side bites. And it didn't stop there. Goldfish were once chosen as food to bring along for astronauts in space. With an appeal that spans both time and space, the success of these little crackers was almost unstoppable. At the Denver, Pennsylvania plant, nearly 55 million pounds of Goldfish crackers are produced each year, about 20% of the brand's total US retail output. Behind that massive number is a meticulous production process that starts with the most basic ingredients. First comes flour, the foundation that gives the cracker its structure. The factory uses about 40 tons of flour each month, sourced from both Canada and the United States. Every batch is carefully tested in the lab before entering production to ensure consistent quality. The next key ingredient is real cheddar cheese, the defining flavor of Goldfish. Pepperidge Farm partners with Leprino Foods, one of the leading cheese suppliers. Large blocks of cheddar are shipped to the plant and put through strict checks. Everything from taste and color to the perfect stretch when baked. Only once they pass inspection are the blocks cut and pressed into smaller pieces, ready to blend with flour and the other ingredients. The journey begins in the mixing area, where all the ingredients are brought together to form the dough. First, flour is added as the base. Then other ingredients like oil, salt, yeast, and sugar are carefully measured before being poured into the mixer. The ratios must be precise so every batch of crackers tastes exactly the same. Real cheddar cheese, the star ingredient, is then added, followed by a mysterious flavoring bag. Workers call it the blind bag because it has no label, just a plain white package, and they don't know exactly what flavor components are inside. Each batch of dough weighs about 1,500 pounds and is mixed for around 10 minutes until it becomes smooth, stretchy, and elastic. From there, the dough is moved to the fermentation room, where it rests for about 5 hours. During this time, the yeast gets to work, producing two key byproducts, alcohol and carbon dioxide. The alcohol evaporates during baking, while the CO2 stays trapped in the dough's structure, causing it to rise and giving Goldfish their light, airy crunch once baked. Once the dough reaches the right elasticity and the fermentation process is complete, it's sent to the rolling and shaping area of the factory. To prevent sticking and maintain sanitation, a thin layer of dry flour is dusted across the surface, creating a cushion that allows the dough to glide smoothly through the system. Here, the dough passes through a multi-stage rolling line with a total of 16 continuously running rollers. Step by step, the thick mass is pressed thinner and thinner until it forms even sheets of consistent thickness. The dough is then laminated, multiple layers stacked together and rolled out again to the precise standard size. This stage plays a crucial role. Inside the oven, steam escapes and creates tiny air pockets between the layers, giving Goldfish their signature light, crispy texture instead of being dense and hard like regular crackers. Laminating also strengthens the dough, making it less likely to tear when it hits the high-speed fish-shaped stamping molds. Afterward, the dough is transferred to a resting chamber with carefully controlled temperature and humidity. Here, it undergoes a light degassing step to remove some of the air produced during fermentation, preparing it for the shaping process that follows. Like a giant stamping press, a patterned roller glides across the dough, lined with thousands of tiny goldfish-shaped metal molds packed tightly together. As the roller presses down, the molds neatly cut out rows of miniature fish, each with the brand's signature look. But not every goldfish is smiling. Only about 40% get the trademark grin, while the rest keep a simpler, plain expression. Beyond the classic fish, the brand has also released fun limited editions in shapes like squids, hearts, turtles, basketballs, soccer balls, and even cartoon characters, usually for special promotions or seasonal packs. Immediately after shaping, a shower of salt falls over the surface like a tiny snowstorm, coating the freshly cut crackers. At this stage, the fish are still part of one large dough sheet, not yet individual crackers. The leftover dough, now just an empty frame dotted with fish-shaped cutouts, is carried away by conveyor belts to a recovery system. There, it's gathered, re-kneaded, and rolled flat once more, ready to rejoin the line and start the process all over again. After being salted, the fish-shaped dough sheets ride a conveyor straight into the oven. But this isn't your average oven. It's a massive industrial giant stretching over 300 feet, longer than a football field. Inside, the tiny fish bake for about 3 minutes, just enough time for the dough to puff up, turn crisp, and take on their signature golden color. Once they exit the oven, the crackers move slowly along cooling conveyors. Stop the process here, and you've got the classic original Goldfish flavor. But today's consumers crave variety, so part of the batch continues on to flavor mixing chambers. Originally, Goldfish came in just 5 core flavors: lightly salted, cheddar, barbecue, smoky, and pizza. Over time, the lineup has exploded to around 40 flavors and packaging styles. At the Denver plant alone, up to 14 flavors can be produced at once, ranging from timeless classics to bold, modern twists. The brand has even circled back to more grown-up profiles that sound unusual but fit right in with today's tastes, like Frank's RedHot, Old Bay, Jalapeno Popper, and Megabites. That way, there's a Goldfish for everyone. Next comes the packaging area, where the crispy little goldfish get ready to leave the factory. It all starts with plain rolls of film that pass through a printing system, where they're coated with the familiar Pepperidge Farm graphics and transformed into finished bags. From start to finish, the process of preparing packaging takes about 8 to 10 hours. Once the bags are ready, freshly baked crackers head straight to the automatic weighing machines. Each batch is measured down to the gram before dropping into funnels that fill every bag evenly with Goldfish. Some batches are even blended with bright purple, red, green, and orange pieces to create the colorful variety packs kids love. And chances are, the bag of Goldfish sitting in your pantry today went through this very same process. Everyone knows kids adore Goldfish, but what surprises many is just how many adults buy them too. In the end, they're truly a snack for all ages. Finally, the fully sealed bags of Goldfish move along the conveyor to the case packing area. Here, robotic arms swiftly pick up the small bags and neatly arrange them into large cartons. Once the cartons are sealed, the entire shipment is ready to leave the factory, headed for supermarkets, stores, and ultimately, the kitchens of millions of families across the United States.